10 times the original Naruto was better than Shippuden. The first major story arc in Naruto boasts many creative, dramatic and impactful scenes that easily rival anything Shippuden has to offer. The ever-popular Naruto franchise has been thrilling shonen action fans since 1999, and when the anime launched, the story revolved around 12-year-old Naruto Uzumaki in his quest to gain recognition and become a great leader. Naruto's early adventures packed with thrills, chills and more than a little drama. Later, Naruto Shippuden took over, featuring older characters and brand new villains and stakes. By now, the Akatsuki organization is upping its game in a big way, and then Obito Uchiha and Madara Uchiha step out of the shadows. Still, for all its climactic battles, Shippuden doesn't always match the heights of Part 1. When were 10 times when the original Naruto matched or even exceeded Shippuden's storyline? 10. When Naruto-Sasuke's friendly rivalry was born. Naruto and Sasuke Uchiha had been butting heads since their academy days, but early in Part 1 of the story, their rivalry became healthier. And they both enjoyed their contests to see who could best the other. This rivalry's golden age was short-lived, but it was highly gratifying to see, and Sasuke was having the time of his life. He was glad that Naruto was a worthy challenger after all, and goodness knows Sasuke only wanted to compete with the best of the best. 9. When the Chunin exam written test began. The Chunin exam arc was packed with twists and turns, and it all started with a written test. But there's a trick to it, while the questions were too advanced for Genin to handle. Several planted test takers had all the answers up their sleeves. The real test was to try and gather intel without being caught too much. To Sasuke, the hint was the fact that getting caught cheating once resulted in losing 2 points. Not immediate failure. That seemed odd to him, and he was right to think that way. 8. When Sasuke unveiled the curse mark's power. During the Forest of Death leg of the Chunin exams, Naruto's squad met another major villain, the scheming Orochimaru, who had disguised himself as a grass village ninja. Orochimaru placed a curse mark on Sasuke, and before long, Sasuke got a chance to test it out. The 3 sound genin were tormenting Naruto's allies until Sasuke awakened this power. And it was terrifying to see Sasuke tear apart his foes with this dark power. Sakura Haruno, distraught by this display, held Sasuke from behind to stop him, and it worked. 7. When Rock Lee faced raw talent. Talent versus hard work was a major theme in early Naruto, and the notorious Match 9 of Gaara of the Sand versus Rock Lee really stands out in fans' mind. This emotionally charged battle saw Rock Lee challenging a Jinchuriki with nothing but taijutsu and guts. Rock Lee has come incredibly far with his unique style, but in the end, he failed, and Might Guy was moved to tears by Rock Lee's stubborn persistence and faith in himself. Few, if any scenes in Shippuden could match this emotional impact. 6. When Naruto talked Gaara down. Naruto's talk jutsu strikes again, and he finally found someone with whom he can connect on a deep level. As of Part 1, Gaara was little more than a feared and hated secret weapon of the Sand Village. And Gaara went on a Jinchuriki rampage during Orochimaru's operation to destroy the Leaf Village. Naruto was intimately familiar with the isolation and pain of being a Jinchuriki. And after he fought Gaara to a standstill, he talked things out, and Gaara finally understood that he was not so alone after all. After this emotional scene, Gaara's redemption was ready to begin. 5. When Sasuke faced Itachi before he was ready. This scene inspired countless choking Sasuke memes, but in all seriousness, this sequence was a heavy hitter, and it showed how terrifying the Uchiha can be. Itachi Uchiha was back, and he easily defeated Sasuke, and the two brothers came face to face. This tense, merciless scene reaffirmed Sasuke's "I must get stronger" mission, and it demonstrated how ruthless and frightening the Akatsuki's members are. Naruto, too, realized just how high the stakes had become, thanks to Itachi and Kisame's appearance. 4. When the Sannin did battle. The three legendary Sannin are Lady Tsunade, Orochimaru, and Jiraiya the Toad Sage, and in Part 1 of Naruto, the three of them met up in the field of battle. Jiraiya sought to recruit Tsunade as the fifth Hokage, and Orochimaru was on the scene too, urging Tsunade to heal his arms. Ultimately, the three Sannin came to blows, and the spectacular battle was stylish and intense from start to finish. No other ninjas could summon snakes, slugs and toads like this and make it look so cool. 3. When Kimimaro challenged all comers. One of the most memorable users of a Kekkai Genkai bloodline trait is the sound ninja Kimimaro. He may have been afflicted with a dreadful disease, but he persisted through sheer force of will, and he'd fight for Orochimaru to his dying breath. Kimimaro's stern attitude, terrifying bone-based jutsu, raw power and curse mark made him an opponent unlike any other. He took on Naruto, Rock Lee and even Gaara, in that order, before he finally succumbed not to his enemies, but his illness. His bone drill came this close to skewering Gaara's head. 2. When Naruto Sasuke fought at the Valley Waterfall. This particular duel would be echoed in later sequences in Shippuden, including the series' last ever fight, but the first battle was arguably the most impactful and emotional of all. Naruto finally caught up to the runaway Sasuke, and the former friend had no other choice but to fight it out. Both Naruto and Sasuke demonstrated new heights in their respective powers. With Sasuke's ultimate curse mark mode, fully fledged Sharingan and Chidori clashing mightily against Naruto's Demon Fox Chakra, Rasengan technique and sheer power of friendship. In the end, though, Naruto failed and Sasuke ended up with Orochimaru, setting up many events to come for Shippuden. 1. When Naruto swayed Zabuza Momochi. It's true that Shippuden scales everything up in terms of devastating jutsu, the number of characters and the stakes, but scale does not always correspond to quality. Despite being smaller, in most ways, Part 1 of Naruto was far more impactful, pound for pound. For example, Zabuza Momochi's redemption. Zabuza was a brutal rogue ninja for hire. But he genuinely cared about his companion Haku, and once Naruto used his talk jutsu for the first time, Zabuza was convinced to turn on the scheming Gato and make things right. It was a heartfelt scene for sure.